Quiet on the set. Stand by graphics.
3, 2, 1.
Graphics in.
I used to weigh 195 pounds.
My top weight was 286
I used to weigh 248 pounds.
I've lost 50 pounds.
Now I have lost 105 pounds. Size 54 to a 36.
From a size 26 to a size 12.
I'm from Douglasville, Georgia, and I've lost 151 pounds.
I'm 27, and I used to weigh 250 pounds, and now I weigh 180 pounds.
But they're not the only ones. This is the way we were.
It's the way.
In this episode, meet a high school student who overcame childhood obesity. And find out how this mother of 3 went from a size 20 to a 2. Those stories and more coming up on The Way We Were.
Stand by in the studio.
Go for Kat. Hi, my name is Kat Carney, and I used to weigh 240 pounds. In fact, I struggled with weight from first grade until I was almost 30 years old. Well, it's been over 12 years since I lost 90 pounds on my own, no special diets or programs, and I have to admit, losing the weight literally transformed my health, my life, and my career. I went on to become a medical news anchor, and recently you may have seen me as a spokeswoman for a couple of fitness and diet companies. Now, over the years, people have asked me how I stayed motivated for the 14 months it took me to lose the weight, and the answer surprises them. Every day, I would read weight loss success stories from magazines or that I found on the internet. Something told me that if I just saw success every day, that maybe one day I could be a weight loss success story too. And about a year ago, it occurred to me, maybe someone else out there struggling with weight could use some inspiration as well. So I put out a call all over the state of Georgia for everyday people just like me and just like you who had lost weight and kept it off. Now, with all the bad news about obesity rates and how diets fail, I thought I'd be lucky to find 4 or 5 people. But what happened next was simply amazing. In less than 3 weeks, 32 people called back. 32 people who all said, hey, I'm a weight loss success. So I invited all of them to come tell their story. The crew and I arrived bright and early at the studios of Georgia Public Broadcasting and started setting up. And even though I had invited 32 people, I still wondered just how many would actually come. But guess what? They all did. And they came from all over the state of Georgia, like Chris McKenzie from Suwanee. He lost 130 pounds. And Luli Alonso from Atlanta, who lost 104. Oh, and there's Laurelyn Bellamy. She dropped 130 pounds 7 years ago. So while the crew and I put the finishing touches on the set, my guests got ready for their close-ups down in hair and makeup. Some, like Susie Torres from Houston, Georgia, couldn't resist sharing their before and after photos. Pretty amazing, huh? But even more amazing was what she and the others had to say about their weight loss journeys. So, one by one, they all took their place in the spotlight to tell their success stories. And oh, the stories they told. Check out Renee Ross, who lost 52 pounds playing video games, and elementary school teacher Talia Wade, who wowed her students by dropping 120 pounds. Marcus Thorpe married his sweetheart this year after losing 105 pounds, and Stan Bush from Warner Robins, after being diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, he too lost nearly 100 pounds. And of course, we couldn't have a weight loss show without the before clothes. There's Ashley Wilson and the jeans she wore before she lost close to 200 pounds. All told, we lost a combined 3,472 pounds. And if you're like everyone else watching, I'm sure you're thinking, well, that's a lot of weight. So which diet program was the most popular? Well, I have that answer right here. But first, I'd like you to meet some of the people I had the pleasure of meeting that day. Remember, the weight loss journeys you're about to hear were randomly chosen from all over Georgia. Literally, the first people who called me back. And even though we're from different backgrounds, when we were heavy, we all shared many similar experiences, like shopping. Do I remember those days?
When I was overweight, there were certain stores I could not go into. So the stores that I would frequent would have to have a plus size section, because I was about a size 20.
I remember shopping for an outfit to wear to go out to eat with my family on a Saturday night, because that's what we did for entertainment. And then 2 weeks later, I went to go put on that same outfit, and it was snugger than it was 2 weeks prior. I sat down in my closet and cried.
When I was overweight, when I saw something my size, I just bought it because it fit me. That's all I cared about.
I would get really excited if I found a 2X or 3X, because I'm like, wow, I can fit this.
I would not like to buy clothes for myself at all, and it was in a large part the embarrassment of having to buy the 2XL stuff, the 44 waist size pants.
When I went shopping when I was heavier, it was kind of non-existent. I just got really big clothes, t-shirts, pants.
It's hard to find. There's not a lot off the rack for those sizes.
It was actually a terrible experience because I would think I can fit something, and when I did try it on, it looked terrible on me.
I would walk into a store maybe with my wife and we'd go shopping, and she would point out certain things that, gee, why don't you try this on, or why don't you try that on? And I really was too embarrassed to say, there's no use in me trying that on because I know it's not gonna fit.
And even though I lost the weight and I definitely have more things available to me, I still have fashion problems.
I'm a size 2 now, but I still think that I should go to the women's section, to the larger sizes. It's just, it's just an emotional, I guess, some sort of emotional thing. But, having gone through everything that I've been through as a result of the weight, I don't know. I think that talking about it took me back to how much pain I used to be in.
My name is Shonda Walls, and I once weighed 227 pounds.
But it wasn't always that way. Growing up, she was the ballet dancer, cheerleader, pageant girl.
Fast forward 8 years or 6 years, and then I'm sitting on the couch just crying every day.
Like many new mothers, Shonda suffered from postpartum depression after the birth of her third child.
The postpartum depression that I suffered with just didn't go away. So then I had to go ahead and start antidepressants. I would barely get out of the bed every day. I would just be so caught up in my depression that I couldn't hear anything positive. I couldn't hear any motivating anything. Food was something that would kind of give me a little bit of excitement in the day.
And night.
I remember keeping cookies in my drawer, in my nightstand, and waking up at 3 in the morning and just rolling over and eating it. Who wakes up and eats cookies in the middle of the night and just goes right, you don't even get up.
And during the day, she usually skipped breakfast.
I distinctly remember that my first meal would be in the afternoon. And by then, I'd be starving.
So she turned to high-calorie fare.
A double cheeseburger combo with the full sugar soda. Then for dinner, it might be pizza.
Lots of French fries. There was always a dessert attached to every meal.
But that would be a daily thing for me at that time. I think the depression, just using food to fill a void of, I really didn't have my own life.
But despite the depression, she put on a happy face to the world.
Every time I see myself in my before pictures, I was always smiling. There was something inside of me that probably knew that this is just temporary. You're going to get back to who you really are. Through all of the sad times, all of the depression, I would still have a smile just probably in my heart.
And as her depression deepened, her weight crept higher with each passing year.
I remember when I hit 170, I tried a little fad diet. I think I lost down to 150.
But she gained the weight back and then some.
And I was like, oh my gosh, I am about to be 200 pounds. I would watch it. It was like you see a train wreck happening and you cannot. I couldn't get off to stop it.
And it wasn't for lack of trying.
For I'd done everything, the cabbage diet, starvation, laxatives, eating just no food a day and just, drinking these shakes. I did everything.
But nothing seemed to work and no one helped.
I didn't really like going home for holidays or going to family situations or where everyone would be gathering because I knew someone was going to say something about how fat I was. Aunts would say, oh, you're just so fat. And then they'd laugh. I'd get in the car and cry.
Now at 227 pounds and a size 20, her emotional pain was compounded by a diagnosis of elevated cholesterol and blood pressure due to her weight and lifestyle.
That was the wake-up call that I needed, because if I didn't get that under control, I would have to go on medication.
2 days later, another wake-up call. A magazine containing a book excerpt by trainer Bob Greene with a simple approach to eating and exercising.
And I just read the article and I was like, you know what? This is something that I can do. He made it seem so simple. I didn't count any calories or fat grams. I just learned to eyeball the portion, to have a cup of oatmeal or portion sizes for a grilled chicken breast.
Now, rather than skipping breakfast,
every day, without fail, I always have breakfast within 30 minutes of waking up.
And she traded her daily fast food fare for healthier grab-and-go items like
double fiber bread, roasted rotisserie chicken, and my protein shakes. I love the baby carrots and fruits and as many vegetables as I can get.
But she knew that diet changes wouldn't be the only key to her success. And once again, she turned to the written words of Bob Greene.
When you're overweight and you're overwhelmed and you're depressed and you're hopeless, you need somebody to say, okay, we can do a little bit at a time. He kind of just gave me the training wheels. He didn't make me just hop right on the bike. Gave me the training wheels, and once I got off the training wheels, I was able to run and fly.
From the beginning, she worked out twice a day.
But I was still too ashamed to actually go to the gym, so that meant I began to work out at home.
In the mornings, for about an hour, she walked on her treadmill and strength trained along with workout programs she found on cable television for free.
Initially, I had to do my own pace because it was really, really hard because my feet were hurting, my knees would hurt.
Then in the evenings, she would walk the trails and parks around Gwinnett County.
And that way I could still do my own pace and didn't really have to worry about being too self-conscious.
The benefits of her efforts were immediate.
Well, I immediately began to lose inches.
But what about the scale?
Sometimes I wouldn't look at it for 3 weeks because that was always like a little emotional trigger for me.
So she ditched the scale and trusted that her efforts would pay off, and they did.
More every week. Every week I was able to do more. And by the time I added weight training, I had a lot more energy.
Now off antidepressants, she also had the courage to move her strength training to the gym. But she was nervous.
Like, what is this housewife coming over here with, this big t-shirt on? What is she gonna do?
What she did was lose 111 pounds in 18 months, from a size 20 to a 2. And now, 4 years later, at age 43, she's not a housewife with the big shirt. She's a certified trainer who still thanks a man she never met for giving her the wake-up call she needed.
You can do this, and it's a gradual process, and I want you to be healthy for the rest of your life. To write that in a book and for me to see it, what he did was just give me hope that that I wouldn't always be on the couch, that I would do it.
And now she's passing that message on to others.
You can do it. Today, I just want you to give me your personal best.
I want to be someone's inspiration.
Yeah, I know you had it in you. I knew you had it in you.
I want to be a motivator.
Keep going. Whatever you're feeling, keep going.
I want to be able to encourage you.
Let's go, baby.
Woo! I want to tell you that you can do it. My name is Shonda Walls, and I once weighed 227 pounds.
That's a pretty incredible story, wouldn't you say? By the way, if you'd like to learn more about Shonda, including detailed information on exactly how she lost her weight, log on to our website at thewayWeWere.com and click on her profile. While there, you can also connect with any of the guests seen in tonight's show, watch exclusive behind-the-scenes video, as well as find tips and, of course, plenty of inspiration to carry you to your weight loss goal. Wherever you are, The Way We Were is there.